Hello there. So this is Gantt Project, uh, the free version of project management for Windows. There's also a project planner for Linux. You want to use Linux for with the Gantt chart. I like Gantt charts for program project management. So this is Dungeon November 2020, and I'm just going to go over a streamlined version of the crunch time for the next 2 months for this course. We're going to try and sharpen up the intro to Dungeon, Multi-Story, Powerful Footsteps, Dwarf Fortress Light, and the Free Fantasy Asset, which I forget the name of now. But those are the core, and then we're going to go into a bit more depth with both Dungeon, Multi-Story, Powerful Footsteps, the Dwarf Fortress thing, and the Fantasy Pack. These are light ones. So Dungeon and Multi-Story are paid assets that cost money, but they should be available on the sale if you're lucky. Just look out for them on Humble or the Black Friday or Spring event or Summer event if you've got a limited budget. If not, then you're super keen to buy them at full price. They're still not too expensive, but they are a bit pricey, about 40 quid for each. That's Dungeon and Multi-Story. They have good integration to each other. Dwarf Fortress guy is working on making integration as well, but we will talk through integrating the light pack with all the extra packages, with all the textures and everything. We can create our own dungeons. So it's the core is going to be Dungeon, Multi-Story, Powerful Footsteps, Dwarf Fortress, and Free Fantasy Pack. We're going to go into details on that, and then after that, once we've sharpened all that up, we've got torches and light to do to add to the generator. We've got doors to do, water, which I do cover, but I need to go through it again and clearer. And vector, free, light version, add the hook shot to it, so we've got kind of grapple gun for vector. Physics, adding physics to everything to make it interactable. So physics is a great way, although it's expensive in processor time. You add physics to a chair, for example, and you can just push that chair around. So adding physics is quite an important thing. 3D game kit light. I think I'm going to put that at the extension level rather than straight away. I have been putting that straight in. But I think I'm going to try and clarify the path for people, because I've been throwing everything at people and it's too much. And rocks and traps is another thing. Again, that won't work with physics, because we just add rocks and then we can add damage systems. The next level would be monsters, AI, combat. Any RPG is one route to take, which is free if people want to try a free route. And Atavism is the gold-plated option, which is super expensive, but again comes on sale. But that is a ready-to-go MMO engine, which is awesome. It keeps getting developed and getting better. So you've got the free version, any RPG, which is catching up to Atavism, and it's a great learning opportunity, but it is complicated and it does get deep, and he's still working on it. And Atavism, which is the commercial, well, semi-commercial kind of indie option, but it's very good and it is worth checking out. Both of them are. That one because it's free and you can get an idea of how it all works together, and that one because it's gold plated and does an awful lot of heavy lifting for you, but it's still very complicated. So before we get to that level of stuff, we've really got to, or I have got to get this course, hammer this course into shape by cutting down layering the content and not just throwing it all at one go. And that will begin with sharper intros to Dungeon, Multi-Story, and Powerful Footsteps, Dwarf Fortress Light, the pack, and the free fantasy asset, both of which are free, and going into detail with each one, sharpening up the videos I've already done, and then extending it as I say, with all these things, which each one of these is going to be difficult. I'm probably not going to get all that done by in 2 months because it's going to be very time consuming, and I'm also working on deeper understanding of Photon and multiplayer. I want to get a multiplayer college up, a virtual college going, which is another thing I should probably put here somewhere. Yeah, new task. Virtual college and Photon. I'm not sure I'm going to teach how to use Photon, but that'll just look that up at the top. Alt up. Yeah. Down one. Really? Okay, well, it's just can't really mess everything up. Paste. Not gonna work, is it? Alright, well. Alright then, we'll put it at the top. Oh, there we go. Up. And let's use one of these blank. Copy. Right. So yeah, so we've got the dungeon, and I'm working on this virtual college thing, which is also taking up time. So hopefully that will let me have a little multiplayer room for everyone to gather in. That's the plan. But let me know if that's something you're interested in, or whether you just want to get on with solo learning with the dungeon. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this. It's just a quick summary of Dungeon in November 2020 and the plan for the next 2 months.